And hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Looks like we have April in, we have Fiona in already. We have Anani Mouse in. How is everyone doing so far today? What's up, Faith? Moonchild is in. What's up, Moon? Charlotte, hey, what's going on? How are you? Thank you so much for popping in. Outlaw Warrior, what's up? I know that's probably not the most professional way to greet an opening on a live, but it's my channel and I want to do it. Hey, Ciara, how are you? Billy Bones is in. Joetta, Florida, Florida, Joetta. Hey, Chef, what's up? I'm hearing an echo in my ear from my laptop that's off to the side. You might see a little bit of it right down there because that's going to operate a second camera for you guys later on tonight. Samoya, what's going on? Cynthia, how are you? See Heather, long time no see. How are you, my dear? It's good to see you back. I can hear Buddy in the background starting to run up. There he is. And in this corner, weighing at like 20 pounds, Buddy. It's like we have about 15 people, 16 people in right now. We're going to give it just a few more moments to allow everyone to get in. Tonight's going to be a good night, guys. Tonight's going to be exciting. There's a lot of stuff I want to go over. It's going to be a pretty involved night tonight, as a matter of fact. Just to let you know, tonight I will not be taking any special requests. The evening is already pretty well lined up, and I'll explain what all of that's going to look like as we are going on. Hey, Canada, what's going on? Samoya, I am doing great. Thank you so much. Peaches Monroe is in the house. Peaches has been with us for quite some time. Monique Koopmans is in the house, and good morning to you. Heather is saying that she had her job had her working evenings, but not so much anymore. Heather, I hope you don't mind that I pasted your face right there on the screen. And I want to congratulate Faith. Faith is the latest Patreon member of our Patreon group. As a matter of fact, give me uno momento. If I could say that anymore like a gringo, that would be. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to find something here. I'm sorry. I promise I am not ignoring you. I also want to give a shout out to Lindsay. Lindsay is also another Patreon member who just signed up. Lindsay, if you are on, I want to thank you so much. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Patreon page, you get a lot of cool gifts depending on what level you decide to come in on. And I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We have a lot of private chats that take place, and I do a private video, live video with both Patreon and the YouTube private members. And we do that to where we can see each other. So it's a live video feed amongst all of us. So, hey, Kristen, what's going on? Is it Kristen or Christine? I never quite know how to pronounce some of these things. So Samoya is saying snacks and drink in hand. You know what? I was going to go and get a monster for tonight, but darn it, I just didn't have the time. And Charlotte is saying, request, is it karaoke night? You know what's funny, guys? I actually almost considered us having some type of a live karaoke night. I don't quite know how I would work that, but I thought it'd be fun. And we have a Jam 488 Spader, which I'm assuming is kind of a James Spader type of uh, pun. And if it's not, then I apologize ahead of time. Some way of saying glad not face to face. My camera is still recovering from last time. Moonchild is saying that maybe ghosts like to sing. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get this evening started. First off, I want to thank you guys so much for spending your evening with me. I honestly do appreciate it. I know I'm not really one of the bigger, YouTubers out there, but hopefully you see something within the channel, and that you like to come back to. So tonight might seem a little controversial for some people. As we go into this evening, I in no way, shape, or form want to give the impression that I'm trying to offend, I'm trying to cause blame or point fingers. That's not the case. What I am hoping to accomplish through tonight is to open up a dialogue and at least create some thought in at least some of you. And of course, tonight we will do a session. As I promised in the last video that I posted, I'm going to start doing lives, filming the actual session in front of you, and then I will post the edited version the following week. Now, in that video where I made that announcement, I also said that I'm going to be posting documentaries on Amazon, but only keeping the sessions on YouTube. I want to retract that just a little bit, okay? Because I wasn't thinking, so I want to apologize to all of you. I just, in my mind, I guess, assumed everybody had Amazon Prime, but that's not the case. So what I will be doing is when I do create these documentaries, they will go onto YouTube, and then after YouTube, they will go to Amazon Prime. And just like the videos now, there's going to be a level in which they will go. So they will go to Patreon and to the private YouTube subscribers as an early access, and then they'll go live on a Sunday, and then they will go over to Amazon. Okay, so that way everybody will still have access, and for me as a content creator, I will still be able to reach to different demographics. Now, the original reason why I said I was going to do it that way is simply because with the documentaries, I can't plan when they are going to be done. And YouTube really likes for you to be consistent with your videos. And so there's no way I can stay consistent with the documentaries because they take more time, they take more planning, and frankly, they take some money to do. And all of that has to get saved up. It has to get built up, and permissions have to be given. Insurances have to be signed and included. And so it's definitely more of a process for one person to handle. So, but I do want you to know that the documentaries, they're not going to be a regular thing. I'm hoping to make them somewhat regular, but I will include them on YouTube as well as Amazon. So please don't worry that you're going to be missing out on anything if you don't have Amazon. I am going to include them on both. Okay. Another mouse is saying we are thinking tonight. I'm hoping to raise a central question with a lot of you. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Canada is saying that she's sorry, taking care of her pet rooster. Okay. My grandmother actually had chickens and roosters and goats, little pygmy goats and ducks and all that. So I'm actually very familiar with that. And we have electronic medium life is paranormal in the house. And that's let me click on the right one. Sorry, Kristen. And I did it again. I am so not 100% with this, I guess. Saying hello from Arizona, which Arizona was my neighboring state when I lived in Las Vegas. And oh, Charlotte, thank you so much. Saying that Franco and I are the only ones that are watched. And Franco, is, of course, as most of you know, has become a really good friend of mine. I know that there is controversy about Frank from time to time, but that's just the nature of this business. Frank is a good guy. He's been there for me. He's given me some fantastic advice. Um, I cannot say enough good things about Frank. So his content is good. He's really become a master of cinematography, and that's something that he and I talk about from time to time. So, Frank, if you ever do get to see this particular live again, my friend, I thank you for everything. You have been a good friend to me, so thank you. And let me see what else. And of course, I don't want to forget Josh over at the Everything Paranormal show. He was the first person to actually interview me, in a live setting, so I can never forgive him or forget him for that. So, Josh, thank you. So okay, guys, so I got that part out of the way. I am working on just kind of let you guys know what's happening. I am working with Michigan, the state of Michigan, right now to try to get access to an island called Mackinac Island. And Mackinac Island was a fort back in the day, and it's seen a lot of battles and built on an Indian burial ground. And so I told them that I'm working on a documentary for Amazon, and I would like to include Mackinac Island in that. And so we are in negotiations right now. So keep your fingers crossed, guys, that will take place. Let me see. Okay, so Electronic Medium is asking, when did you receive your first EVP? My first EVP, officially my first EVP, came when I was in junior high school and I was talking on the phone to a friend of mine. Now, for those of you who might not have been alive in the 80s, we had phones that were landlines, that were corded phones connected to the wall. And I remember talking to him. His name was John. And I remember hearing static come through the line and this deep guttural voice saying something. I couldn't quite make out what it was being said. And so technically that was the first EVP that you could say that I caught. However, before then, there were hearing footsteps in the kitchen. Oh, and by the way, guys, speaking of all that, I have an aunt. She's my mom's younger sister. Her name is Cindy. She lives in Las Vegas, and I did not know that she watches the channel. And she's been involved in metaphysics for as long as I can remember. And I asked her if she would mind coming on at some point, one of these Sundays on one of the lives, to talk about what had happened. And the reason I want to do this, guys, is because we have a lot of people on YouTube who are making claims that, they've always been involved in spirit, they've always talked to ghosts and so forth and so on, but they never really give a lot of detailed accounts. And what I would like to do is bring my aunt on and have her tell you stories of things that she has experienced in the house that I grew up in, because she lived right next door. And so if you guys are okay with that, in the weeks coming, I would very much like to do that. Because again, my goal at this point right now, gang, is to provide more transparency to you. It really bothers me that we have people out there on YouTube who are claiming to get these fantastic captures and responses, and they're saying it's all in the name of science, and they're getting scientific proof, but they're really not. Because in order to get scientific proof, guys, we have to have a control group and we have to have a test group. And what we are seeing them doing, what I'm seeing them doing, is aiming a camera at a guitar amplifier and having really good voices come through. So, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit later on. Okay, so I'm getting caught up. William from Butler County, Bill Wagner, how are you, sir? I'm sorry, guys. For those of you who are watching this later on, I'm now just trying to get caught up on some of the comments that are coming in. Oh, what's this? So Christina's saying, have you ever thought about going to Eloise in Wayne, Michigan? I'm not far from there, and it has fabulous activity. No, I have not. But what I will do is I will make a note of that um, in Eloise in Wayne, Michigan. I will definitely look that up. Thank you for the heads up on that. I appreciate that. Um, let's see. Have you seen David Expert's method of getting picks, and what do you think? Actually, Peaches, no, I have not. Um, I'm sorry. No, I have not seen that. So Moonchild is saying, recently recorded my test with the Miracle Box. My 23-year-old son made fun of me, says it sounds like farting. Heather is mentioning Mackinac Island or Somewhere in Time was filmed. Exactly. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so spirit research at the University of Arizona and electronic medium. I'm happy that you are mentioning this because we are seeing more and more universities getting involved in the idea of not just paranormal, but energy existing outside of the body. So Tesla, I think, was one of the very first to actually capture something. He had made a crystal oscillating radio, and as the story goes, he was able to hear voices. They didn't understand where they were coming from, and it kind of freaked him out. Of course, Edison, Einstein, Harry Houdini, they all have reports of being able to speak, sometimes through accident, sometimes through not, in regards to spirit. Now, guys, so this is, and I'm happy that you brought that up because that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. Again, going forward with this evening, I do not want to offend anyone. If I do offend, it's not on purpose. Um, Also, please keep in mind that anything that we talk about from this point going forward is just based off of my personal opinion, off of research that I have given. And where applicable, I will give you those research links. So I'm not saying that any of this is written in stone, but as I said earlier, I'm hoping that we can at least create a dialogue to create a thought process. Okay. And we have Dr. Do 5. Okay, so I'm going to go to Charlotte here. I'd like to see you come over to England sometime. One of our hauntings are pretty much open to be investigated. I would absolutely love to go to the UK, and that's one thing I've spoken to Frank about on several occasions is going across the pond and just doing research. And Samoya is saying, then it's Sal speaking. Got it. Guys, I apologize. Sal may have to be swimming with the fishes at this point. There's a lot going on in my life right now. I have a small business that I run on the side, which keeps me busy during the day. And then, of course, these videos, and then what it takes to set up these videos, especially when we're going out on location, it takes some time. So KKD is in saying, best EVP. My husband and I were in a cemetery. He was picking up some trash. I was recording. I listened back later and actually heard, thank you, Jimmy. It's funny, guys. You get these wonderful little nuggets from time to time. I think one of the best ones when I was with Gina and Curtis in Las Vegas when we did the Mob Museum. And of course, that video is available on YouTube. Gina had gone into the old courthouse and she was fumbling with the camera. And you hear in that noise of her fumbling, you hear, you need some help there, Red. And which I thought was funny because Gina has red hair. So what I want to, so Chef is saying, do you still do voiceovers for Lego Batman? They have not contacted me in a little while. I think that project is pretty well wrapped up. I haven't really done any voice work in some time now, but then again, I'm not really putting myself out there anymore to do that. If they ask me again to do anything like that, then of course I will, because it's a lot of fun. And we have Three Souls Paranormal in the house. What's up, Three Souls? How are you doing? Okay, so here, I want to see if I can bring up something real quick I want to show you guys. And this is all going to get into what I really wanted to talk about for tonight. Give me one moment to get my life in order. And I actually thought I already had this set up, so I apologize. There we go. So earlier today, I received a. Here we go. I received a message from one of our Patreon members, Raphael, and he was asking me about electromagnetic energy, because I believe that the electromagnetic field is part of the field in which, call it what you will, spirit, ghost, what have you, kind of interacts in. And the reason I think that is because, sorry guys, I just had a brain fart. Biology has taught us that we as humans, we exude electromagnetic radiation energy through the form of heat. And usually that escapes through the top of our head. And as thermodynamics has taught us, energy does not die. It just simply changes form and it moves on. And so I ran a little experiment today, and I want to see if I can show this to you guys real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so excuse the look on the face right here. But what I want to do, I was initially thinking about doing this live, but what I want to do is I want to show how heat, moving heat especially, can create electromagnetic energy. And so Three Souls is asking if I'm still in Pittsburgh. I absolutely am. I am actually in the Wexford area. So I want to show this to you guys. This was a little experiment that I did to show how. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. A little thing here that I have said for a while that we expel electromagnetic energy. This is something that look up, science has proven this. I've also said that I believe that when we go into spirit, we are still in control of that electromagnetic energy, which releases as heat. I want to show you that heat can produce EMF energy. Here's a heat gun that I use to shrink wrap items with. So, heat gun, shrink wrap. So, and of course, the K2 meter. What I want to do is I'm going to put the K2 meter in front of the heating element, and you will see this light up. Okay, so the motor part of it's back here. I'm going to have it in front of the heating element. Watch this. Look at that. And if I move the heating element closer, we get more EMF. So basically what I'm showing right now, guys, is that this moving heat is creating an electromagnetic field. And so while that might not be true science, I am trying to, in some way, prove a theory that temperatures, heat, cold, moving air, and energy can create that electromagnetic field in which spirit is said to play in. Three Souls Paranormal is saying they live here in Pittsburgh as well. They're saying they enjoyed the Blue Mist Road video. Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, Three Souls, I'm probably going to redo that video. I may possibly turn that into one of the documentaries. I'm not quite sure yet, but it's a thought. There's just a lot of really good areas out there to film. Now, Samoya is saying she was afraid I was going to melt the K2. I heard the sides of the K2 starting to crack a little bit. So, yeah, so I turned it off. Steve is saying, really appreciate the scientific approach to this topic. Thank you so much for that. And, I saw a YouTuber, a big, huge YouTuber, over 1 million followers, say that he has scientific proof that spirits are now speaking through his new device. And again, if we're truly going to follow the scientific method, we have to have a control group and we have to have a test group and we have to have somewhat of a theory. Aiming a camera at a speaker or an amplifier, that's not proof. It's just, I'm sorry, it's not proof. And we have Haunted by Haunted. Hello, how are you? So, okay, so there is a big divide, it seems, between theology, science, belief, and religion. And this is something, when you start really getting involved in this and you start putting your work out there, you do have a lot of people who come in and they give their opinions. And this is something that I think most of you know has plagued me for some time. I don't mind people saying that you're fake, this, that, or the other. What is bothering me more, it seems like, are people who are claiming to get factual captures when I personally don't feel that they are. And on the flip side of that, having people who say that the Bible says that you're going to go to hell for what you're doing. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of getting caught up on some of the messages here. So Three Souls is saying that, yes, they were there at Blue Mist. And yeah, it's a fantastic area. And Electronic Medium is saying that it's so touchy. Spirituality brings people together. Religion divides. And I want to go into that just a little bit deeper, because what happens is that there starts to become a lot of misconceptions about what we think was said back in the biblical days compared to what was actually said. And tonight's specific video was going to be about heaven, hell, demons, and angels. And if you are anything like me, you like to know where everything started. You like to know where the origins came from. Because if you ask anyone in Christianity, they're going to say, well, demons, they were kicked out of heaven because they try to get more power. They try to be more powerful than God. They went against God's will. And that's how demons were created. My opinion only, guys. Let me make this very, very clear. It's my opinion. That is the mythology behind the Christianity side of the explanation of demons. If we are to go deeper into history, and I want to share this with you real quick, like I said, I'm going to try to share with you what I can, guys. Okay, so we have this article right here. This is through GreekEarthandTheGreeks.com, and there's a lot of literature about this, about how demons and demonology came about. When we are to take a look at Greek history and their faith and their spirituality, there is a word in their literature called daimon, D-A-I-M-O-N. And what this was a spiritual being who carried messages from us, the living, to God. They were kind of an intermediary. And they were also the ones that if we had any specific needs that needed to be met, we would ask them and they would take care of it. as the Jewish faith was starting to grow, now keep in mind, Judaism was started by Abraham. When that started to grow and they started to translate some of the old Greek words over for the New Testament, daimon started to be replaced with the word demon. And so that's really how the whole demon thing came around. And as Judaism grew, and especially as Christianity grew, the word demon became more and more associated with evil and evil spirits and dark spirits than this neutral spirit, which is what the Greeks believed they were, who were sent here to help. And so we really have to understand the history of where these things came from. And Christianity teaches that angels, for example, were made by God. They were messengers of God and here to assist us and help us and protect. Again, it's from the initial daimon, and I hope I'm saying that right, Daimon, that they were pulled from. Now, these types of beings, these spiritual beings, the belief in these spiritual beings, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here, have been around for centuries, absolutely centuries. And frankly, Judaism and modern day Christianity are really only a few of the more recent religions out there that believe in one God. Most religions before this believed in multiple gods. So, okay, guys, let me get caught up here on the comments. Rebecca, what's going on? Okay. Okay, so KK is saying that there's a lot to be learned and understand from the original Greek and Hebrew, and I could not agree more with that. That there is so much to learn. Most, and again, I am not pointing fingers, gang. Okay, most people who attend mass, who go to whatever faith they believe in, they want to have faith and they want to believe that the person who's telling them and teaching them that they are correct in what they're being taught. Occasionally you have someone like us in our group, me, that we need to understand more. We need to understand where it came from. How did this happen? And so that is how, it was like Sarah Saving Spirits came in. Hello, Sarah. How are you? And Sarah, thank you so much. Sarah has been doing some absolutely fantastic work on her channel, and Sarah and I have known each other for a little over a year now. Granted, we don't talk often, but we do stay in touch. Wonderful, wonderful person. And if you have not seen her channel, please go over to it. And if you haven't seen her Instagram page, please go see it as well. So that is that side of it. So my belief is that there's not good or bad, there just is. And so if we are to go on to the belief that the origin of demons and angels were overall these entities called daemons, and they were neither good or bad, they were whatever you made of them, then that follows, frankly, in my own mindset. Now, as things started to grow, Judaism was the largest monotheistic, I believe I said that right, religion that was around for quite some time. Then, of course, we know that Jesus of Nazareth came in. He shook things up. He was a little bit of a rebel. He walked around with, the sleeves of his t-shirt rolled up, cigarette pack up here, then we know how that story went. Here, let me get out of this real quick. I'll stop sharing this. And started going around and preaching what he believed. Now we have to keep in mind that Jesus of Nazareth was Jewish. He was of the Jewish faith. So all of modern day Christianity comes from the original Old Testament Jewish faith. And so there is a misconception that Jesus was talking about heaven and hell, that you will be judged and that you are going to be damned if you don't live a certain way. If we actually read through the scriptures, and this is where it's going to get a little touchy for someone or for some people possibly, and all I ask is that you please just do your own research. Jesus did not preach heaven or hell or being judged. Okay, he did talk about a kingdom on earth, so forth and so on, but heaven and hell actually came about 200 years after the time of Christ. And I want to share something else with you here real quick. And again, I am not saying that Jesus started a cult or anything like that. His followers did eventually create what's known as Christianity. What I am saying is that Christianity came from Judaism. So for anyone who, if you're thinking that I'm saying that he was a cult leader, that's not at all what I'm saying. Again, I ask, please look into this. I'm not trying to start an argument. I am not trying to start anything in particular. He was of Jewish faith. Now, he went against the Jewish church, and that's part of the reason why he was crucified. But he was Jewish. And after he died and his apostles broke off and they started creating their teachings, their schools, it then started to become Christianity. And then the Catholic Church rose up and became technically the first major Christian church that was out there. And then, of course, now we have a lot of ones that have broken off from that. Don, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Don. And Greg is saying that they're all different denominations of Christianity. And you're absolutely right. They are different denominations of Christianity. I myself grew up in a Pentecostal household, but my grandmother who lived next door was Baptist. I had a cousin who was LDS, and I know there are people who will say that LDS is not Christian. However, if we are to stick with the belief that any religion that believes in Christ is then a Christian faith. So, hey, Chris, how are you? And yes, there are a lot of different denominations, and there are a lot of different versions and teachings of Christianity. What I am just trying to say is that when we go back in history, I'm just trying to paint a little bit of a timeline of where, demons, angels, heaven, and hell came from and how it has morphed over time. So KK is saying that Christians is only used 3 times in the New Testament and was originally considered a derogatory term. See, Christ did, and again, I'm not trying to preach theology or anything like that. All I'm hoping to do is just lay some sort of a foundation, a general overview, historical general overview that anybody can look up. Any of you can look any of this up at any time. This is a wonderful little article written by Time Magazine about what Jesus of Nazareth actually said about heaven or hell. And so it's something that you are more than welcome to look into. And Greg, I want to thank you so much. And Greg, I agree with you. Here's the thing. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that that it's not real. I would not be in this if I didn't believe it was real. I do believe that it's real. In regards to good, bad, I think that there has to be a balance. I think that I'm sorry, guys. I'm catching up on information here. I just all I'm saying is that for me, I needed to understand more. I needed to know more than just what my specific church when I was growing up was teaching. I needed a better understanding. Excuse me. And so, um, and sorry, brain fart again. The Hindu faith, they have a beautiful view of good and evil. Now, they believe that the god Krishna is the god of creation, while the god um, um, Vishnu is the god of destruction. But instead of them battling against each other, they work together because you can't create unless things have been destroyed. And I absolutely love that. And I personally have a belief that we have to experience negative or bad things, because if we don't experience the bad things, how are we going to know or appreciate the good things that we see? So so forth and so on. So I believe that there is a balance out there, and it's for those who want to, it's up to each of us to figure out what that balance is going to be. And Greg, that is phenomenal. I am definitely sorry for your loss, but I also do believe that we are energy, and I have said this on many occasions that I believe that this body is simply a carbon-based vehicle that houses the energy that really makes us who we are, and in that if we are to believe the laws of thermodynamics, that energy is not created, it's not destroyed, that it just moves on and changes form, then that's what happens to us. And that's what I believe is spirit. I don't believe in the Hollywood version of ghosts. I don't believe in, the the sheet with eyes cut out. No, I believe that consciousness is energy, and that is what continues on. And we're seeing more and more studies in that. And so when we start talking about scientific proof, that is the route that I am going in. So sorry guys, I am catching up with the messages here. And so Sarah from Sarah Saving Spirits was saying that she had a near-death experience, and that it was just a little on the unnerving side. And then Peaches Monroe is saying that her husband had a near-death experience as well, and that there was nothing but a void. And guys, there's something to be said about that. If we find ourselves in a void, and if there's nothingness, does that mean that we are not really disconnected from our body at that time? I was in a bad motorcycle accident about 20 years ago and really should have died. I flipped over a car and was hit by a truck. And all intents and purposes, I should have died. But I didn't. I remember saying, "Oh, hell," and then blacking out. And I don't remember anything. It was all black. And then I came to about 45 minutes later. So it's, again, I'm not trying to preach any specific type of religion or faith. It's a journey that I am going on. It's things that I am finding, things that I am believing, and really just passing on to you. And if we really take a look at the history of faith among different groups, every single one of them have had their version of heaven and hell. And there's always been a good or a bad. And so, sorry guys, again, if you were watching this later on, I'm simply trying to get caught up on the messages that are coming in. Greg is saying that he can still remember being pulled from the hospital bed, sat squarely in the chair of the room, seeing a door with a perfect diamond window, and light coming through after my appendix surgery. Wow. And Steve is saying, Phil, did you ever do a past life regression? What do you think about it? I like to think that we have an opportunity to come back. A lot of you have probably noticed that whenever there's a death, there is a birth. I think we are here to experience. I think we are here to enjoy certain things that maybe we can't get in the spiritual realm. I'm only assuming, I don't know. And so I think the possibility to come back and experience this, it's possible. I like to think it's possible anyway. Let me see here. See, Outlaw Warrior is saying had surgery in 99, crashed twice. Second time, they almost gave up. Oh, wow. Well, I'm happy they didn't. I'm happy that you're still with us. Goes on saying during the second time, I felt like I left my body because I felt like I was floating and saw my grandmother. Everybody has their take. They have their belief. And I just wanted to really just share with you where I am coming from now. And again, if you are open-minded, if you are curious, I urge you to look into these things yourself and find what's true for you. Okay. Let's see. Haunted by Haunted is saying my father-in-law died on the operating table with a child. He had an out-of-body experience and could see himself high in the room looking down on himself and the doctors. I've heard a lot of stories about that. And goes on to say that he was revived and vividly remembers it. Okay, and Fiona, my dear, you have a great one. Thank you so much for popping in. I do appreciate you. I'm sorry that you have to go, but thank you for spending that time with us. Peaches is saying that's what happened when she drowned. And Sarah is saying, gotta go, making dinners for the kids. Love you, Phil. Sarah, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. And folks, once again, if you have not visited her channel, it is Sarah Saving Spirits on YouTube. Please check her out. She is phenomenal. Thank you so much. And if anybody has any questions or any thoughts about any of these topics as we're going on, please feel free to ask. The topic of heaven, hell, demons, and angels was, again, what the private YouTube members and the Patreon members had requested when I put a poll out there, what they wanted to hear. This kind of goes into what we spoke about like 2 videos ago when we were when I was doing a session trying to confront these lower level beings. Something else I want to mention, a lot of people wrote in saying that when I am kind of putting my line in the sand, so to speak, to not say please or anything like that, to be firm. Here's what I want to say about that, gang. If I am not 100% sure what it is that I am talking to, I'm still going to be respectful. Now, if I think that it is a lower level entity that has never been in a body before, then yes, I will draw a line in the sand. But we also have to remember that just because a spirit comes through and it sounds mean or it sounds angry doesn't mean that it is a, lack for a better term, a demonic entity. It could just be a lost spirit that's just mean, so see Chris is saying, I hope so. My mom and dad and I believe in life after death. My mom was spiritual and that's where I got it from. I wish I could see them in spirit. And so um, I believe in meditation in regards to the last comment. I do believe in meditation, um, being able to find a moment, even for 5 minutes, to just kind of silence yourself and close your mind off from the outside world and kind of cleanse a lot of that mind junk. I studied yoga for many, many years, and there's a thing called mind stuff, and that's just that garbage that gets stuck in your head. And I would like to think that when you get rid of all that junk, you raise your vibration, and if you can concentrate on a loved one who has passed, that you can then hold a communication with them. Past life regression, do you have any opinion about that? Again, I think it's possible. I don't like to say that anything is a definitive one way or another because I don't know. I like to think that it's possible. Again, if we were to go on the idea that we are energy and that energy can um, move on and take on different forms, and going by the laws of thermodynamics, then I think that there's a possibility that if we're given an option to come back and experience life again, that we can, and that would then be reincarnation, which would tie into past life. Okay, so I heard someone talking about soul nets. Do you know about this? Something about a net that catches the soul as it leaves the body and throws it back to reincarnated. And that's something I've not heard of. I can look into that. That's not something that I have ever heard of. Again, there's a lot of theories, a lot of speculation out there. There's a lot of people who like to believe a lot of different things, and I like to. For me to believe something, it has to make sense to me. I have to buy it. I have to buy into it. It has to be tangible for me. And I have not heard of a soul net. And my question, when it comes to things like that, I want to know, how does this person or these people know about these things? How did they run across them? How did they know about them? Did they have a dream about it one night and they had an epiphany that this is how it happened? Or did they have a near-death experience and that's what they experienced? I think each of our experiences here on this earth are unique to us, and I think possibly our death could very much be unique to each one of us as well. Oh, Margot, thank you so much. Margot, that is so nice of you. Margot, of course, now just sent a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, guys, I apologize. I'm getting caught up on the messages here. See, Steve is saying, thank you for your answer. You are welcome. I have a feeling that I've lived before, but I have no specifics to details, so it might just be in my imagination. Thank you, Margot. Here's the thing. I feel that your own intuition is your best guide. So go with what you feel is true for you. And who knows, that may be what carries us, each of us into the afterlife. So again, just personal opinion, guys. Peaches is saying it's what I seen when she drowned. So of course it's what I'm obsessed about, and I get it. I absolutely get it. I've said in the past, for those of you who might not know, I've been very candid about my background, about my upbringing, and my stepdad was really not the nicest of men. And I remember we had a pool in the backyard, and there was one time I went to go dive into the end of the pool, and he held onto my ankle. And so I was underwater and I couldn't get any air, and I was panicking. And I just remember him hanging onto my ankle. I thought, oh my God, this is how I'm going to die, is by drowning. And I remember that panic setting in, and I thought, oh my God, I don't want this to be the thing that I remember when I cross over. Of course, luckily that did not happen, but and it's reasons like that, plus others that I really wanted to search more into this. Okay, so Moonchild is saying if I reincarnate, I want to be healthy and not chronically ill or disabled like I am now. I want to put a thought out there. Okay. Again, this is only my opinion, so please take it for what it is. But what if this was to be your experience? Granted, as uncomfortable as it is, I can't even pretend to know what it is that you are going through. But what if this was to be your experience? What if this was to be your growth, your spiritual growth? Again, it's just simply a thought. I don't want to, again, assume that I know anything about anyone's life. So, all right, guys. So tonight, as I promised you in the last video, I'm going to show you how the videos are made for the sessions. I have a backup phone that I use that really just to hold apps, and I have Necrophonic on that phone, and I forgot to charge it last night, so it's been charging today. And I'm going to pull it off the charger real quick, and then I'm going to go through. I'm going to break down how I do all of this, and I have a secondary camera set up, which obviously you can see. I didn't even know that was up. So we have another super chat that came in. Jam, thank you so much for that. That is phenomenal. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for so much. And guys, just to let you know, these funds that come in from the super chats and also from the YouTube videos, they go right back into the channel. They are what helped me get this equipment. They're what helped me build things like the Aura box, which I have sitting right here next to me. They are what helped me go on these trips. So thank you so much for that. I honestly do appreciate that. And Chris, thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Chris, I'm not gonna lie. I was angry for a long time, a long time. I was angry at God. I was angry at the world. I was angry for so many things because of what he did, and frankly, things that were not necessarily allowed to happen, but the fact that, a head was kind of turned, so to speak. And, eventually he left. But I chalk all that up to that was the experience that I had to go through. My 20s were, went to the Air Force when I was 19, got out in my 20s. And so my 20s were spent questioning a lot of things and trying to understand faith and spirituality and trying to understand why my life had been the way that it had been. And then in my 30s, I started to be okay with a lot of things. And I even now, I feel sad for, the little boy that was me. And I kind of mourn for him from time to time. As an adult, I feel like I'm okay now, but there was a lot of growth that had to happen. There was a lot that had to take place. And like I said, if my my aunt, she already agreed that she would come on, and she can tell you a lot of the stories because again, she lived right next door to me when I was growing up, and then later on, she did live in our house for a little bit, and she saw things that my stepdad did, and she experienced a lot of the paranormal stuff that I did, and so yeah, the 20s, I know a lot of people who say they would love to relive their 20s. I wouldn't. There's no way in this world I would want to relive my 20s. I see a lot of virtual hugs coming through. Thank you, guys. Um, oh, and Don's talking about the Afterlight box. The Afterlight box, I tried a lot of different apps. And of course, like many of you, I had watched Steve Huff early on, and I tried the SCD2, and I just didn't get the results you know, that I was seeing. And so I started to look for other apps. There's a lot of crap apps out there, but then I found the Afterlight box, and I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. And if you, the actual site for the Afterlight box is extremesenses.com, and that's where I get a lot of my apps from. And so, Ciara, I see you in. Thank you so much for popping in. Again, guys, this particular live tonight, I'm not going to be doing requests. I apologize for that. I do have a specific session in mind, but what we can do in the future is we can do requests. Again, we did that once before, and the results were fantastic. And so we can definitely do that again. Okay, and Samoya is saying that the Afterlight box gave an error and had to remove it. The Phasma box, yeah, I use the Phasma box as well, and I like it. I had a request to use the Necrophonic app on this session, so I said that I would. And Eastman is in. Hello, hello, hello. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that was, I'll tell you, I don't want this to be a pity party at all for me, but I hated my 20s. I hated them. I was scared to death as a kid growing up. I was terrified of my stepdad. Um, and, just, okay. So guys, just to give you a quick idea, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I want to give you a little idea of why I got angry with God and why I doubted God. Because my stepdad was Pentecostal, so because he was Pentecostal, we had to go to the Pentecostal church. I was so bored. I was so bored with it. But he was one of those good Christians that would put on a brave face out in public, but behind closed doors was a completely different person. I remember one of my chores growing up was I had to mop the floor, and he had a very specific way that you had to mop the floor. You had to do 4 squares, 4 tiles at a time, back and forth, re-dip the water, mop in the water, rinse out the mop, and then do 4 more tiles. I missed part of a tile, and he grabbed me by the hair and he pushed me down to my knees and pushed my face into the ground and said, "You missed a tile, re-mop the entire floor." And so, I mean, that's just kind of an idea of, what I grew up with. And I would not wish that on anyone. Let's see. So Chris is saying, I feel that maybe you experienced something as if it was trying to protect you, like the spirit want to help you. I believe, Chris, that there was a lot that was going on when I was growing up. And I think my stepdad brought in some negative energies, but I also think that there was a lot of positive that was trying to protect me. And that's kind of what the session is going to be about tonight a little bit. So that's why, again, I apologize for anyone who wanted specific sessions done tonight, but I do have something in mind that I want to do. And again, Eastman, thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to start turning on some lights here. And so we can start getting this going. But I do want to show you around. I didn't even know the second camera was already up and going, but the second camera shows you really the other side of the room. So guys, give me a second. I'm going to grab the Necrophonic off the phone. I'm going to start turning on lights, and then we're going to go over what all is going to happen tonight. Okay? Oh, buddy, I'm sorry, guy. I just ran over my dog. Okay, so this is an old LG cell phone that I don't really use anymore, but I just use it for apps, and so all of my paranormal ITC apps are on this. Okay, Don's asking what's in the doorway. Did I get a cat? No, that is one of Buddy's toys. I had an old shirt that I was about to throw away, but because of some of the trips that I take, I have somebody, her name is Cindy. She's a wonderful person, love her to death. She comes in and she will babysit basically Buddy for me, and but in order to have my scent still around him, that's one of my old shirts that I put on his bed. And he drags it around with him from time to time. And I just didn't pick it up. So I apologize about that. KK, thank you. Yeah, he's right over here, right behind me, laying down. So, okay, so I'm going to turn on, I have a light right above me, gang. See if you can see it right there. Okay, so that light is what is going to act as what's known as a hair and rim light. So I'm going to turn that on real quick. Okay, so we just do just a little bit of that. So that way it highlights the shoulders and on the hair. Mariana, salve. Salve. Mariana is from Amitov Paranormal Tech. And if you have not seen Amitov's channel, please do. She gives me a lot of crap for liking the K2 meter, and I give her a lot of crap for not liking the K2 meter. So, Mariana, salve. Mwah, mwah, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to log into the phone. And guys, I wanted to show you, for those of you who might have missed it, the reason I want to show you how I make these videos is because I really don't see a lot of people out there. And here we go with the Necrophonic. I don't see a lot of people out there who are doing ITC, showing you how they are connecting everything, showing you how they are doing their sessions. Okay, so we have the Necrophonic up and going. I'm going to connect that to the Aura box here in a second. But I want to show you some other stuff, guys, okay? Again, I want to be transparent with you, and you're going to see what real ITC is like, maybe compared to some of these other people. If you remember in the video that I posted last, I spoke about how a lot of people are using the same guitar amplifier that Steve Huff started off with. And, so it's kind of leaving it to that. And I'm not saying anything negative about Steve. Steve did kind of change how things are done. I just think that a lot of people are making their viewers believe certain things that aren't really happening. And so I want to do these lives like this so you can see exactly how I'm doing it. So I have a light right above me. Now, walk with me. Over here, this is the main camera that I will be using because I'm going to be sitting in this chair, turned around, facing this camera. And this is just a Canon Rebel that I use for video. So this is what's going to be filming me. This right here is a monitor so I can see myself because, as you can imagine, as someone who is filming myself, I need to be able to see how I'm framed in the shot. So that's why that is there. Okay, so I have this ring light right here, which will provide a soft light to the side of my face. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. And then, guys, I don't know if you can see, where am I at? Okay, so this right here. Okay, so this right here is my other cell phone, and this is what has the thermal camera attached to it. So I don't know if you can see. You can see this. This is all the thermal imaging, because I want to use thermal on this one. I have a shotgun microphone, which is a directional microphone connected to this camera. And I have one also connected to this camera. So these are going to be the two main cameras that are going to record me. And then, of course, I have the Aura box that I'm going to be using. In fact, I will try to tell you what, guys, I will rearrange the cameras just a little bit so that you can get a better view of what's going on. Okay, because it's not going to be fair on you just to be, looking at the back of my head. So Faith is saying, look at you all dressed up today. Yeah, I figured I might as well do my hair and makeup, so to speak. Now, guys, I am not doing this to show off my equipment. I'm not doing this to show how fancy I'm trying to be. What I am honestly attempting to do is just be as transparent with you as possible. Now, okay, in regards to the Aura box, the only cords you're going to see is this cord, which is a DC cord that's plugged into the wall. I can run it on batteries, but I'm indoors, so I really don't have to. This right here is what provides the reverb. This right here is what provides the noise reduction. Okay, because you're using a scanning radio and you want to get rid of that scanning sound, this is what will knock that out. This cord, which is plugged into the noise reduction, is what will plug into the cell phone. Okay, and that's all there is. Oops, what did I do? It just made a noise. It got angry with me. Now, what I do think happens from time to time, I can't prove this, it's just a thought, guys, but where this is plugged into, where I would plug in my cell phone from my app, I think there are people who, instead of plugging in an app or a radio, they might plug in a microphone and have somebody off camera who is responding to them. And that's, I think, possibly one way how they are getting clear responses. Again, I have no proof of that. I cannot confirm nor deny that. It is just a theory, knowing how this equipment works. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this in real quick. I'm sorry, guys, if you're leaving comments and I'm not looking at them at the moment. So, yeah, and I'm going to rotate cameras here in a little bit, guys. So, okay, so let me get caught up here. Chris is saying, clever what you're doing. I love this so much. I should be asleep. Like, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. Sincerely, I appreciate that. Greg is asking, how many cameras are you using right now for the session that I'm going to record for the channel? I'm only using 2 cameras. I have the main camera, which will be standard video, shot at 24p. And then I have over here, I have the thermal camera, because I want to get thermal in on this one. I think there's a lot of possibilities with thermal. I think there's a lot that can be done with thermal. I think thermal is very underrated. A lot of people like to try to use like the SLS. My experience with the SLS is that there's a lot of false positives. And I think thermal just has a lot more possibilities with it. Let me see. So just real quick, and let's see, KK actually kind of gave me this idea. So KK, I apologize. I'm going to steal your idea. Just real quick, before we really get going here, I would love to know where everyone's from. And while you're answering that, I am going to rearrange that camera over there a little bit. Oh my God, it looks like I have a huge bald spot back there. See, we have Minnesota, North Carolina, Colorado, Georgia, Vegas, Boston, Minnesota, England, Battle Creek, Michigan, home of cereal, Netherlands. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. Okay, so all right, guys. So any questions before we get going with the actual session? Shams is in the house. Shams, Salvi, Shams. Salvi is another paranormal investigator from Brazil. She likes to give me a hard time as well. She and Amitov are good friends, and they gang up on me from time to time. Outlaw Warrior. Yeah, my buddy from Philly. Pierre, my friend. Hello, how are you? And we've got April in Pittsburgh. And Joetta Laxahatchee. You know, I'll tell you, some of the names of places out here in the East are so different from Vegas. You know, I see something like that, and if you were to spell what a fart sounds like, to me, that's, you know, Joetta, with all the love in the world. I'm just saying I'm getting used to these names out here. Germany, born in Finland from Steva. Let's see. We have a lot of Michigan. So, guys, if I can get this thing in Mackinac Island going, I'll be doing a live from there as well. So, not this Sunday coming up, but the following Sunday, I should be doing a live from Mackinac Island in Michigan. So, just letting you know about that. And Anonymous Mouse is saying, be respectful to spirits. Absolutely, all the time. So again, guys, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns before we get going on to the actual session? Amy and Luke Nash, hello from Maryland. And by the way, to my fellow Pennsylvanians, thank you for sticking in on this particular live. And another reason, guys, real quick, why I wanted to do these lives is I wanted to show you that there is nobody else in the room. There's no, there's nobody hiding anywhere. I apologize about the mess on the floor, but Buddy is down here somewhere. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that there is nothing going on, because in a world where we have a lot of people who are faking their results, I just feel it's important to again be transparent. Amy and Luke Nash, thank you so much. I'm trying to figure out some new things that I can do for Patreon. But a lot of, again, all of those donations that come in through Patreon go right back into the channel. Sharon PA. Hello. Got a lot of Pennsylvanians in here tonight. Faith is saying she's hiding in the room. All right, guys. So I'm sure you can see from that camera that I have the Necrophonic plugged into the Aura box. I don't have the Aura box turned on as of yet. I can go ahead and get it going. Okay. So the Aura box is now on. Christy, hello from Colorado Springs. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. Amy and Luke is saying that we'll be starting up a ghost hunting group here in the fall. Heather is asking, who are we contacting this evening? I know that a lot of people, a lot of the ITC workers out there, they like to contact celebrities and famous people and so forth and so on. And, and I've done that on occasions. If I felt there's been a reason for it. I've never jumped on the bandwagon of contacting someone right away. And by the way, guys, I want to mention something about that real quick. Again, it's just my own theory, my own thought. I know that there is a thing out there on YouTube saying that you have 3 days in which to contact a spirit. After that, their energy kind of dissipates. The Jewish faith believes that the spirit hangs around the body for 3 days and then moves on. I believe that the reason they say 3 days is because that's when that person is still viable in the news. That's when people are still searching for them in the news and on search engines. So personally, I believe the reason they say 3 days is because they're still viable at that point and they will get more views on those videos. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, if there's any questions that I'm missing. Greg wants to know if there are any rules or just watch and enjoy. Well, for tonight, there's no specific rules. All I would say is see what you hear. See what you hear. Yeah, that really didn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. Because I'm going to be having the edited version of this on the following Sunday. The idea being is that you can match what is done in the live to the edited version. And it's, for me, again, it's transparency. So just listen, see what you hear. If you think you hear anything specific to anything that I ask, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm going to be asking specifics about heaven, hell, demons, and angels tonight. So guys, again, I'm sorry if you're watching this later on. I'm catching up on messages that are coming in. So, okay, so I went over the equipment with you. Greg, no problem, buddy. Okay, so again, I went over the equipment with you. I showed you what I use. I showed you how the session is set up. In a moment, you're going to see that monitor turn on so I can see how I'm framed in the shot. Okay, so Anonymous is saying, what is the clinking sometimes heard like gates closing? Again, sound is energy and energy can be manipulated. I usually ask for certain gates to be open, certain gates to be closed. And whenever I do a session, I ask that the doorways and the gateways be closed. And so I think that perhaps it is a reference to those gates. I could be wrong, but that's what I like to think that it is. And Anonymous is asking, are spirits gated? Fact of the matter is, we truly don't know. And frankly, guys, anybody who says that they know 100% without a doubt, they have an answer to any of this, I would question it, because unless you have died and you have gone through it and you're still dead, you're really not going to know. There is a theory that there are gates. There are writings about gates and doorways. And who knows? But it's something that I say in reference to a session being open compared to a session being closed and locked. And Heather is saying it's difficult to know when spirits are telling the truth or not. I completely agree. Whenever I go into a session, I never, ever assume who or what I am talking to, because again, sound can be manipulated. Sound is energy and it's wavelengths, it's frequencies. And we all know that frequencies can be manipulated. So I can't say for sure that they're good or evil. I think they just are, and they're whatever we make of it. And if consciousness is what continues on, and they've hung on to their personalities after they have died, we just don't know, guys. That's why I ask these questions. That's why I do this. I try to understand. I try to figure it out. And that's why I bring you guys along. And Raphael is in the house. What's up, Raph? It was Raphael's idea to do the test about heat and EM energy that we talked about earlier. Okay, so Anonymous once again is saying, heard it a time or two during the sessions in his videos, and I didn't know what was going on. I've referenced gates several times, especially in my earlier videos when I was living in Las Vegas, and I still do it from time to time now, and I might even do it tonight. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get the other stuff turned on. I apologize for any thing that the cameras might be picking up as I'm walking around. Microphone is turned on, camera's turned on. Okay, the monitor is turned on. Okay, so I apologize, guys. I am going to be turning off this light because it's going to be drowning out the shot, so to speak. Okay. Tell you what, guys. And Shams is saying that whenever she does a session, she'll ask the same question several times because there are a lot of mocking spirits. And I believe that. I totally believe that. So tell you what, guys, how do you feel about we take just a quick break, mainly because I have been drinking this. We take a quick break. I have a new break video for you guys, by the way. I made sure to get that made because what was working last time just wasn't working. So tell you what, guys, let's take a very, very quick break, and then we'll get on with the actual session. Okay? Here we go. Better? uh, Headbanging. So that song is through Adam of Shattered Heart. You can actually buy their album. It's available everywhere. It's called Shattered Heart. And he was nice enough. He reached out to me and asked me if I would want to use his song, and I was grateful for him. I said yes, and so there we go with that. It's called Therapy Session. That song. Samoa is saying that was quick. It's in the middle of my head banging. Amy saying that she was jamming. Hey, Lisa, how are you? And yes, I am better. Quite a bit. Thank you. And oh, Raphael, my friend, he likes to call me this neighborhood metrosexual pirate. Oh, Raphael. My friend Raphael, I don't know what to do with you. Okay. All right, guys. So give me a few moments. I'm going to make sure that while the framing is good, and then we will get this going. I want to bring this down just a little bit. Need to adjust that just a hair. And you know what? It is still way too bright. So I want to adjust this light just a little bit. I don't want to make it super bright in here by any means, but I still want to make it to where you can at least see me, you know? Move this over just a hair. Waiting music. Yes, you got waiting music this time. You definitely did. Oh, you know what? Here, I can do this. I'm going to turn on. I forgot I had a background light. So I'm going to turn that on just a little. And I might have to make this brighter than what I was hoping. Really didn't want to make it too terribly bright. That'll work. Okay. So now I'm going to focus. Actually, you know what? Yeah, Raphael was saying that the light in my hallway just turned on by itself. I had the living room light on a timer. So at 8 o'clock, right, 8:30 my time, that light goes on. And it'll go off automatically at midnight as well. So yeah, so that's, I wish I could say there was something mystical about that. I wish I could go, oh, spirit turned on the light. No, it's on a timer. So, okay, so as before, where am I at? As before, I'm going to record the opening to this, kind of like what you've seen me do before, and then we're going to get on to the session. Oh, you know what? I don't know if this is And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Philip Page. If you've not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button and that notification bell. And while you're at it, go ahead and pound that like. That way the YouTube algorithm will know that you're actually paying attention to me. There's a lot of debate in the spiritual world of theology and history, and among those who are trying to contact spirit as to heaven, hell, angels, and demons. Are they real? Are they not real? Some say yes, some say no. Some just don't care. So what I want to do tonight is I want to try to ask through the Aura Box some of the what I think are fundamental questions, and to see if maybe we can get any answers in regards to the truth behind these beings. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the opening was now shot. And Samoya is saying, who else wants to tickle his neck? I was thinking of doing the not touching you thing. Not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Yeah, and then we go into the music. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the thermal camera, because once again, I want to use thermal in this. And so let me get that. So the thermal camera that I am using is a FLIR camera that you plug into a cell phone. And that's what we are using for that. And okay, so that is now recording. And we are recording there. So now, because I'm using two different cameras, I have to make sure that the video is going to be synced later on. So we do a slate. And give me 1 second, guys. Session in 3, 2, 1. Mark. Sorry, buddy. All right. Dear Heavenly God, I thank you for this day which you have given. I've asked Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Azrael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel David to please be here during this session to help educate, to help teach, to protect this session, to protect this room, protect this house within this session. I welcome those of love and light. I welcome those who have my best interest at heart. I welcome those who are of higher vibration, who are of good, loving vibration, to come through this session and to hold back any lower level entities who may try to come in. Thank you. Hello, hello. My name is Philip. Is there anybody here who would like to speak with me tonight?
Yeah.
Did I hear yeah? Hello, is there anybody here? I welcome those of love and light. I welcome those of higher vibration, of loving consciousness.
No.
of teaching consciousness. I welcome the doorways and the gateways to please be open for those who are willing to help in this session. I welcome those to come through. Is there somebody coming in from over here, from off to my right? Can you give me a name, please? I ask you to please take your time, use the tones, use the noises that this is making to form words, okay? There was something there. It is frequency, it is energy, you can manipulate it. And you can form words. We can communicate. How many are here? How many are here with me right now? God. Okay, so I heard you say God. What about God? What was that? What was that about God? Guys, is it okay if I would like to ask. Okay, I'm gonna lower. Guys, I'm gonna lower the volume, okay? I would like to ask my question. Okay, turning the volume down. I understand that you want to speak. I welcome you to come through and speak. I do have some questions that I would like to ask. Are you okay with that? Okay, I heard please. Sir, what did you mean by please? What can you teach us? What can you tell us about angels and demons in the spirit world? Do they exist? Or are they something that are strictly created by the human race? Okay, so please understand, I'm not going to be. Okay, guys, I got to turn this down. I understand that you have a lot to say. I have things I'd like to ask and say as well, okay? Can we have a fair back and forth communication? Okay, I heard please again. I'm looking for direct answers, okay? Can we have a direct... Can we have a direct back and forth talk, communication? Thank you. Are angels and demons real? Do they exist? Or is it just consciousness? Have any of you seen God? Well, what was that, Miss? There was a woman that just came. There's a woman that just came through very clearly and said, "You're one." Who was that? Miss, what is your name? That was very clear. What type of environment do you exist in? When our energy leaves our body, can you tell us what happens? Where do we go? It sounds like I heard up a few times. What was that noise? What was that noise I just heard? Okay. Have any of you ever been human? Okay, guys, I want to make this very clear, okay? I understand that there's good and there's evil. In this house, in this session, I do not allow evil. I do not allow negativity. If you are low, no, I command you gone. If you are lower level, if you are dark, if you are evil, I command you gone. I have dominion over you. And I command you gone from this space. I command those gates be closed, those doorways be closed. Okay. I welcome those of love. I welcome those of light. This stopped recording. Mark, stop recording. All right. Give me your name. Who is here? Give me your name, please. Let me know who you are. I'd like to ask you, did my stepdad bring in negative energies? There was an entity that was attached to me when I was younger, and I had to get rid of it. Let me make this very clear. I welcome spirit. Okay, I just heard I hear a lot of fragments coming through. Here's what I ask, okay? This is my life. Negative energies have no control over me. Okay? I command you gone. If there are negative energies attached to my stepdad, I command you gone. Okay? I welcome peace. I welcome white light. I welcome higher vibration. I welcome positive consciousness. Okay? I am looking. Yes. I heard yes, sir. What's that? Did I just hear Philip? Who was that? Can you give me your name, please? I thought I heard someone say Paul. I've had a Paul come through several times. Who is Paul? Who is the lady who just said free? Okay, guys, let me ask you this. Are there any souls, are there any spirits here who are stuck? Guys, please, are there any souls or are there any spirits here who feel stuck? Okay. Guys, are there any of you that would like Are there any of you that would like for me to say a prayer for you? Okay, I've heard someone say Philip on a few occasions. So obviously you know me. I just heard please. Dear Heavenly Dear Heavenly God, I thank you for this day which you've given. I ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Azrael, Archangel David, please help any of these spirits or these souls to please move along. I ask them, please educate them, please teach them, please show them the way to the light if they are allowed to. I am not the final say in this. Please educate them and please show them the way in order for them to find happiness and completion and peace. Do any of you see a light, a bright light? If you do, it's okay to go towards it. I ask that you not be held back. Should you be allowed to cross over? I hear a lot of female voices. Are there a lot of female spirits or spirits that identify as female? Okay, guys, there are people that are watching this right now. Is there anything that you would like to say? Any messages you'd like to get across? Okay, guys. I thank you for your time. We're going to... Guys, if you need help, ask for the archangels. Ask for the light. If you are mischievous or wishing to cause harm, you are not allowed here. If you are of light, if you are of goodness, of higher vibration, if you have my best interest at heart, you are welcome. If you are my guide, if you are my teacher, you are welcome. Okay? I want to thank you for your time. We're going to, guys, I'm going to ask, as I close this session down, I ask you to please return to the gateways and the doorways which you came. Please do not stay here. Please do not attach to me. Please do not follow me. Please do not attach to my dog. Please do not follow my dog.
Thank you.
Did I just hear thank you? Miss, what is your name? Hey guys, if you're needing help, ask for the archangels, ask for the light. If you need protection, ask for Archangel Michael. If you need to learn, ask for Archangel Raphael. Okay? Thank you for your time. I ask that the doorways and the gateways here be closed. Okay? this space be clear. And I will talk to you again soon. Thank you. Okay, bye. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to turn off these cameras. Oh, no. Oh, balls. Hey guys, I think I forgot to press record on the thermal camera. Oh, I don't know. Or maybe I did. I don't know. It's out of power already. The thermal camera is, so, which I just got done charging it today. That back on, turn that off, and we'll come back right over here. All right. And okay, so we'll get caught up on some comments here. A lot of people are writing in things that they heard. Let's see, what do we have here? We have my buddy Happy, who is in right now. It's always good to see you, Andrew. Or I think Heather's thing, or someone turned off the thermal. I need to take a look at it. And here, you know what? I've got Buddy under me, so I can't really move. We'll have to see. Let's see what happened. So Greg says, when you said balls, I thought of the show Supernatural. But Bobby used to say that all the time. I worked for about 4 years for Star Trek, and they had a live show in Las Vegas, and that's where I picked it up from. You know, something would go wrong, oh, balls. So okay, so Raphael is saying that he saw something moving in the hallway at one time, and be curious to know if you guys saw anything as well. Okay, so Dawn is saying that she heard a lot about the door. Okay, so Raphael is saying when you go over the video, pay attention to that. Okay, yeah, absolutely, I will. Okay, so Dawn is saying, again, heard a lot about the door. I heard thank you on a few occasions. I heard my name on a few occasions. And then after you check the camera nearest the door. Okay. And Chris is saying, I heard open the door. You know, and there's been times in the past that I have heard that, open the door, open the gate. And I have my own suspicions as to what is making that demand. And so I don't oblige. I keep the gate closed. I keep the doorway closed. Okay, and Don is asking if I heard Spanish too. I am not overly versed in Spanish. So if you guys heard Spanish, please let me know. And if you did, what do you think you heard? Okay, Don is saying, I would check your actual door behind you in the footage. Okay, and Raphael is saying her demon, and that felt as if something was moving behind the other voices. And Chris is saying, I don't blame you, wouldn't open the door. Yeah, and Heather, I thought I heard Ed, and I honestly don't know who this head is. Who this head? Oh my lord, who this Ed is? I don't know if it's Ed Warren. I don't know if it's some other Ed. I have done sessions trying to figure out who Ed is, and I still don't know. The closest I've ever came was Ed is just kind of this general figure that is neither good nor bad, but I still don't know anything about Ed. Okay, so Dawn is definitely saying heard some Spanish. Interesting. Okay. Squirrel Nuts. I love that nickname. Dark energy behind all the voices coming through. Moonchild is saying thought heard the name Amber. Nana Mouse. Let's see. Nana Mouse is saying heard Elise. I've had Elise come through on a few occasions as well. So that wouldn't surprise me if you heard that name. Oh my God, Andrew, seriously? I'm so sorry to hear that. Terribly sorry to hear that. And Greg is going to be on his way out. Greg, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for popping in. And actually, guys, I'm going to open the floor to any last minute questions, comments, or concerns, and then we can call it a night, guys. You've given me a little over 2 hours of your life, and I appreciate that. And I know that you have more of a life to live outside of me, so Moonchild is saying to please burn some sage. Absolutely, I will. I will. And thank you for that. And Anonymous saying my condolences to Happy. Yeah, and Andrew, I am sorry to hear that. If you don't mind my being nosy, if you don't mind me asking in this forum, were you guys close at all? Faith. Not a problem. Thank you, Chris, for popping in again. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so Heather is saying, I've seen people using dowsing rod in spirit communication. Thoughts? I do have thoughts. I've used dowsing rods and I've had good luck with them, but I only trust dowsing rods if I am using them. I have seen people do like quick sessions. There was one guy in particular that I saw, and I can't remember his name, but he was doing quick sessions with dowsing rods. And it seemed to me that I could see a very slight twist of his wrist, which was causing the dowsing rods to turn. So I only trust dowsing rods if I'm using them. Okay, so April is saying that she heard name Ed come through. And Anonymous, I appreciate you for coming in. Thank you so much. Lucy! Hey, Lucy, thank you so much for popping in and saying hi. Oh my God, Andrew, I am so sorry to hear that. God, sincerely, I am sorry to hear that. You know, I know that you do believe in this, and I know that you use the Necrophonic app. And at some point, if you feel that it's appropriate, you know, you can always attempt to reach out, make sure he's okay. Raphael, are you positive about that? Do you feel positive about that? Raphael is saying yes. All right. Alrighty, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the footage this upcoming week, and I will put the video together for you. And if you are on Patreon or if you are a YouTube private member, I don't know what the actual word is for that. You will receive the video on Saturday as early access, and it will go live on Sunday about noon, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, there seems to be a little bit of a debate between Raphael and Don. Raphael is saying the word is dead. Don is saying it's bread. Okay, and Andrew is saying to slow down the speed. Unfortunately, with that app, I don't have the access to slow down the speed in real time. I can slow it down in post later on. But yeah, what they, unless there's a way to slow down the speed in the Necrophonic app, I'm unaware of a way. But yeah, any app that I've used, or even scanning radios, just come through so fast. All righty, gang. Once again, I want to thank you all for popping in. I appreciate it. Again, you've given me 2 hours of your life. Okay, Andrew, okay, so you're saying in post. I got you. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. So if there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, I will wish you all a very good night. And if you have any questions or comments later on, you know how to get a hold of me, either through the Saving Ghost Facebook page, the group, or here on, or on YouTube. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.